So now I'm sitting here with Jelena Čanković. You're in Malmö, Sweden, and you have been playing football for a couple of years abroad now. But maybe let's start in Serbia, where you grew up as a child, and how did you come to play football?
Yeah, well, first of all, nice to talk to you too. And I started playing football when I was 7, but my dad was a football player, so I used to play with him a lot in the backyard. That's how it all started when I was like, I think 5, 6. And he was playing with the ball, and then I just took the ball and I was juggling just a few times. And he was like quite impressed that like I could do it. Also, as women's football was not really popular at the time, and especially in Serbia. And that's basically how it started. And then actually there was some like when I was 6, I think there was some competition for like in the juggling, like it was mostly for the boys, but I saw on TV and like I insisted that I want to go there. And then my dad actually brought me, and like after that I started like practicing.
I saw an interview with you in Serbian on a Serbian web page, and I tried to translate it a little bit. And I think you said to the guys there that your idol is not Messi but Ronaldinho. Is that true?
Yeah, exactly.
How did that come, that Ronaldinho fascinated you so much?
Yeah, well, then when I started, he just signed for Barcelona, and I think I just watched him on TV the most, and I just liked the technique, and like he was just like like my favorite player because of technique and the skills he had. And I was also a big fan of Barcelona. So I just watched him on TV and I really like him. He was a special player.
You are, I wouldn't say that you're 100%, but you're also a player like him, aren't you? You are, you're playing in the offense, you can play a forward, you can play in the midfield, and you're also very creative. That's what people see you.
Well, I also, when I was younger, I really liked to practice the skills like from him, for example. So I think he was more as a winger, I'm more as a midfielder, but I like to try to do the tricks like him. So I think there are certain things we are similar at.
You already said when you grew up in Belgrade, which is a very beautiful city, by the way. I've been there twice in 2018 and 2019. I really liked it a lot. The atmosphere is so Mediterranean. It feels so Mediterranean, and that was surprising to me because I didn't know anything about your country and your city there. It was, people were dancing salsa at 10 o'clock in the evening. That was fascinating.
We are like that a bit.
And then you came but you realized probably pretty early that you have to go abroad to get better and develop yourself. So you went to Hungary when you were 18, right?
No. I left Serbia like when I was 18. But like when I started, I kind of knew that I need to leave the country to be able to play professionally and on a good level and to improve. So actually, when I was 18, I went to Spain. I went to Barcelona. So that was my first like professional contract. I actually signed it on my birthday when I was 18. And so that was my actually first experience abroad. I've been there 1 year, and after that I've been in Hungary. Then like I came back to DFF, and now I'm in Rosengård.
2.5 years in Hungary. How was that? A very difficult language, I think, because nobody really understands Hungarian outside Hungary.
That's really special language. It's really hard. Like I mean, like they also spoke English, and we had a lot of internationals, so it was easy in that way. But it was really, I would say, I improved a lot there. Like we really had the good facilities and like things to like just around the club. It's like Ferencváros is like the biggest club in Hungary. And I think they are putting really a lot of effort to improve women's football. And we had like a sports center where we lived, and there was like we were practicing there, so we had all facilities there to like be able to improve. So I think it really helped me a lot in that in like that period, especially. I was like 19. So yeah, I think it was really good for me.
But then
to
comes
be there.
The time when Sweden, Växjö gets notices you and they want you. How did that happen? That you ended up in Sweden?
It really happened so fast. That was actually we with the national team, we played the friendly against Russia in Russia. It was before, I think, it was before Euros 2017. And yeah, that's how they came in. Like they saw me there, and like they came in contact. But yeah, it really happened like in 1 month. It happened so fast because also like in Sweden, the transfer window is different than like in the other countries in Europe. So yeah, like I was interested in that. It sounded like interesting. Like team was almost already in Damallsvenskan, and for me, it was like I had half a year to get used to everything in the new country. So yeah, I think it was a really good move for me, and I accepted it. So yeah, then like half a year we've been in Elitetan, and yeah, then we came up. So I had this half a year to adjust to everything in Sweden.
And apparently, when you went to Rosengård, you stepped up you went up one more step to now to one of the absolute top clubs in Sweden. Is that always when you go up one step on that ladder or whatever? Is that always something that challenges you as well? Do you have to? Oh, I have to get better. They are so fast in the trainings, or did you always succeed to adapt quickly? Because it's always a new level.
Yeah,
right?
Think yeah, but I think that's also really like important to take in a career, to go step by step, like not to make too big of a steps. So I think for me that was really like good. At first I came to Växjö, and like I could adjust to everything, like in Sweden, to the level, to like the league, and then like I made even a bigger step coming to Rosengård, but like it was also not too big of a step. Because I think like if I maybe came from Hungarian league directly to Rosengård, it would probably be harder. So yeah, it was definitely a new challenge for which I was really like feeling individually that like I was ready for, and like I really wanted to play in a team like who plays Champions League and who is fighting for the league title. So it was challenging, but like not too big of a step.
So looking back, when you were 18 and went to Barcelona, maybe that was too huge a step in the beginning, and that you took it too fast, maybe, and now you say, okay, I take slower steps and go back to Barcelona when I'm like 28 or something.
Yeah, definitely. It was my first time. Like I just turned 18
and young, very young.
It's quite very young, and it's quite different in Spain because I was the only international player at the time. So it was a lot. It was really hard to. Yeah, like first 2 months I couldn't really speak with anyone because they don't really speak English, and I was also shy. Like it was my first time abroad. I didn't really know how to deal with all these things. So I would say it was my dream to play for Barcelona. So when that opportunity came to me, I couldn't say no because that's what I dreamt of. And yeah, but I would say it was probably maybe too big of a step at the time. But like I also don't regret it because that was my dream, and like I fulfilled it. So I'm quite also happy with it.
And in 2019, you won SM Gold, the gold medal in Sweden with Rosengård. Last year, you were leading Damallsvenskan for quite a while, but then you lost, I think, two games in a row, and then suddenly Gothenburg. So what happened last year? Actually, nobody understood that really. What happened with your club, with your team?
Yeah, I also don't understand really, but when I signed here, like first year we won the title, and I think we started like with Corona and like all this big break. I think it was really hard for the teams in general at the start of the season to get back into that rhythm. But I think then, like after a few games, we got back to our like game. We started playing good, and then October came, and it's really hard to explain. I think we didn't really play good that game against 2-0 when we drew home. But I just feel like we didn't step up after that game. We just like it was okay, it was bad game, but like we couldn't get over it. And then like all that games, we couldn't step up. So yeah, of course, like when it happens, you're not gonna win the SM Gold again. I guess that there were just too many mistakes we made.
That's what Turbine Potsdam's old coach, Bernd Schröder, who was coach for 32 years, I think, in Potsdam, he always said when they asked him, why didn't you win this? Why didn't you win that? He always said, football is not a science. Things happen and you can't explain them all the time. They just happen.
Yeah, it just happened.
And that's also what makes football so interesting, right? Because there's not a formula to follow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. That's what it is. Everyone can win. Like you can't just go onto the game and say, hey, we're gonna win, we're better, or like we're gonna lose. We're like, you always have a chance. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's really interesting with football.
How do you feel about this year's team of Rosengård? Are you going to take the title this year?
Yeah, I hope so. I really believe so, and I think we really have a good team. We also had a good team last year. Like now we play a bit differently. We changed the system. I think new players really adjusted well to it, and yeah, we started really good, and that's important. That first game was a bit harder against Linköping, but it's also important that we took 3 points. And yeah, I just think like it just goes well. It was also important for us that we played Champions League, and we had a lot of games before the season started. So yeah, I'm really optimistic that like we will win the title this year.
Olivia Skog makes a great impact apparently on your team right now this year. She's scoring goals. Never before she scored so many goals like this year.
Yeah, she's a great player. She's really a good addition to our team. Definitely, I think she definitely makes a big impact. And yeah, we're all happy that she's here.
Against Bayern Munich, it was, of course, there was when people say the Swedish teams can no longer compete with the 5 or 6 big teams in Europe. How was your own experience of the games against Bayern Munich? Are they just unreachable, untouchable for you now, or do you have to like play 120% to be able to beat a team like Bayern Munich or Barcelona or Chelsea?
They're definitely a great team, but I don't think it's unreachable for us. They are definitely having really great players, but my feeling on the field was that like, yeah, it's just hard to explain also. Like, I think they deserve to go through, but like, if maybe we did some things different, because like, especially that first game, like when you concede the goal on like your own mistakes, I think like on that level, you can't make mistakes like that because they're just going to score. Like there's no, so I think like, I really think that like we gave away really easy goals. So if maybe we were more focused, especially I would say on the first game, we could have done better. But I don't think it's unreachable. But always I just think we need to improve a bit.
Against these kind of teams, it's always almost deadly to get receive the first goal. When they score a goal, then it's very, very difficult to come back. That's like what we call uppförsbacke here in Sweden. It's like a going on a hill all the time.
Yeah, especially that early, like in the first game, we just conceded like after 5 minutes. It's really, and like especially when you play away, like the most important is like not to concede, try to get a draw, or in that like it's always easier to play home. So yeah, and then when you concede after 5 minutes, it's really mentally hard to get back.
The German, I saw that on German television, and the German reporter, he said that Čanković and Rosengård are the best players in Rosengård in these games. And whenever I see you play, it's really a pleasure to see you play football because you are so creative and you're always like a.
Thank you.
It's not a very good metaphor, like a spider in the net. I want to say, but you're so important, you know that.
Thank you.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
I mean it's positive, not negative.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
How do you feel yourself now? You must be very confident.
Yeah, well, I really, first of all, I enjoy playing football, so that's just the way I'm trying to do my best for the team, and I'm trying to improve day by day to improve the small things in my game. And yeah, like I just play the way I play, and I'm not really like. For me personally, the most important is that we win and that the team wins. And yeah, like that's it's always great to hear these positive critics, of course. But yeah, I'm just trying to do my best and to help the team. And yeah, that's that's all I'm focusing on.
But where is your limit? I mean, I don't want to say where are you next year, but where do you see yourself in like 3 years from now?
Well, one of my goals is definitely to win a Champions League, and I would really like to go and play like in the teams who can reach that. And yeah, probably, yeah, probably at like one point, I want to also go abroad to play in like top team. And yeah, that's where I see myself in a few years.
Hmm.
And that's like one of my goals.
And after all these years, when you have been in Hungary and in Spain in the beginning, then Hungary and then Sweden, at the same time, things have happened in Serbia, right? Because Serbian women's football is a lot better now than when you left. So what has happened there?
Yeah, I would say our national team is much better, definitely. About the league, I'm not really sure because it's still like a long way to go. Like infrastructure, all these things are really not good, and all the good players are leaving. So when you grow up, I think it's similar in men's football. If you want to reach certain level, you need to leave the country, which is not really good for the league. But I think a lot of our players are now playing in Norway, Sweden, like Germany, in all the good leagues. So yeah, I would say definitely our national team has a potential, and like we really improved a lot.
You lost in the qualification to the Euros. You lost twice to Austria, but only by 1-0, which is very close, right? And you won 12 points, and you were close to Austria, not close enough apparently. But that was really a good sign. And now I looked it up a little bit. Milica Mijatovic, your fellow Serbian player, she's your competitor in BK Häcken now in Gothenburg.
Yeah.
And Damjanovic is playing in Portugal, and there's another girl, Blagojevic, is playing in Germany. So with more and more Serbian players playing abroad, the national team will get better.
Yeah, that's definitely very important because that like we have a players who are able to like physically compete for 90 minutes, to like play just on like better level, to be technically better. So I think really it helps a lot that a lot of players are abroad in good leagues. And yeah, I think we lost 2 games against Austria. I would say quite unlucky both games. I think we could have won, but maybe that's a bit what we are missing, because I wouldn't say Austria is much better team than us, but like it's maybe that experience, or I don't know really how to call it, but like I think we're getting definitely closer. So yeah, we hope like now in the World Cup qualifiers, of course, we are with Germany in the group, so it will be quite hard, but like we hope that we can reach at least second place in the group, which would be really a big step for us.
You have to compete with Portugal, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but like I think Portugal, Austria, like it's quite similar level, so I think we can compete with them.
And I think you're absolutely right. It's much about the experience. I spoke to Emma Hayes, I think 3 years ago in London. I saw the game against Chelsea Wolfsburg, and after the game she was very disappointed, and I said maybe you need just like 2 or 3 more years of that experience to play in that on that level. And right this year they beat Wolfsburg, so that's maybe also the same routine that you need for Serbia, just a couple more years.
Yeah, I also think so. It's really important like to get that experience of playing. Like we never played on a big tournament. Austria played a few times, for example, on like Euros. We've never been there. We also have a really young team, so I think experience is definitely, as you said, now with Chelsea, like they signed a lot of players with the like European like experience, and like also like they played a few years in a competition. So I think it's really important just to get used to that feeling of playing important games.
Yeah. What is Jelena Čanković outside football for a kind of person? What are your interests? What are you doing when you don't think and play and watch football?
Well, I would say I'm quite a football person. Like I really, even in the free time, Like I really like to watch football, to like do everything like around it. But yeah, I would say I'm for example, like I'm doing coaching licenses right now. So yeah, it's quite that's quite of my interest. Like one day I would like to be a coach. So yeah, I would say I also to to read a lot about that, like fitness, nutrition, all that kind of things.
So you're
So yeah,
very sport
yeah,
focused
I'm
person.
really a sport person. Yeah.
How do you cope with the wind in Malmö? A couple of years ago, I spoke to Anja Mittag, and Anja is as German as I am, and I said, Anja, what are the differences between Germany and Sweden? And she said a very funny thing. She said, basically, it's the same like in Germany, but for the wind.
Yeah, it's really. I think it was 2 weeks ago when we played Hammarby. Like it was really insane. Like it's so windy. But yeah, I would say like the weather in Sweden is so weird that like for 5 minutes it can snow, then like it's sunny for 5 minutes, then like it changes. I think like it can change every 1 hour or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really. I don't really care that much about the weather, like as long as it's not raining that much. But yeah, there are a few days in a year, but I wouldn't say it's like really that big or like that windy. It can happen like it happened 2 weeks ago that it was 3-4 days. It was really insane. But yeah, I guess now summer's coming, so
I hope so.
we all hope for a better weather.
Absolutely, and we hope probably also for some audience at your games.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of talks now about that, but like it's really so sad that there are no people on the games. And yeah, it's really a hard situation with all this virus thing, but I really hope that like there will be at least like some people, because I also think like if like shopping malls are open and like if everything's open, like you can let at least like 20% like on our games. It's still outside. It's like I think it's possible to still be safe and have people in. So I really hope that soon we'll have people back to the stadiums.
And did you have any opportunity to travel back to Belgrade to visit your family and friends over there during the last year, or was it difficult because of Corona?
It was really difficult. Like I've been home during the winter break in December. We had like 1 month off, so then it was easy. But yeah, otherwise I was just like when I go to the national team, and yeah, a bit like a problem is that also Serbia is non-EU, so also my family can't come here at all.
You need a visa, right?
No, they can't, because European Union is closed to like non-European Union countries, so they can't travel at all, even if they would have a test or whatever. So yeah, I hope it also changed a bit now, because yeah, so at least they can come here if like it's a bit harder for me during the season to travel.
I really hope that everything gets better now in the summer.
Me too. Yeah.
Thanks very much, Jelena. It was a very pleasure to talk to you, and have a great game on Sunday against Djurgården, and all the best for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.